Hey, everybody. Happy Monday. It is Marketing Monday. And we are happy to be streaming live with my good friend, Giovanni Tavares from Proper System. He is here. We're going to talk all about cybersecurity. I'm Deborah Dixon-Anderson from Light of Gold PR. And we've been doing Marketing Mondays every Monday for about a month now. We always try to talk about topics like business development, marketing, branding, events, all that good stuff. Um, Light of Gold PR is 16 years old. We do everything from press to marketing to digital to branding. Just do a little bit of everything. We've been around for 16 years now. And I'm going to have my wonderful guest, my good friend, Giovanni Tavares, introduce himself.
Good afternoon. My name is Giovanni Tavares, president of Proper Systems. We are a full service IT support firm. So, whatever your IT needs are, we are here to help you support them.
Absolutely. And I highly recommend Giovanni. He has worked on so many of my laptops over the years, and he is fantastic at what he does with tech support. He's very knowledgeable. So I'm really thrilled to have him here talking about such a serious topic like cybersecurity. So I have had my own personal run in myself with a cybersecurity issue. I'll share a little bit about that as we go along. But Giovanni, you and I both know that around this time of year, especially with the holiday season, a lot of cyber criminals take advantage of the holiday season due to the search in for best deals. I know I was online a lot looking for the Cyber Monday deal, the Black Friday deal, and online shopping. It's just a big deal around this time of year, although cybersecurity is an issue year round. So why don't you share a little bit, from your thoughts as an expert?
Well, the two scariest times are the standard Christmas and tax season. Those are the two times which are the worst. We're going to discuss Christmas right now. And everybody wants the best deals, but there are so many advertisements out there that this extension for Chrome, this extension for Safari, or for Microsoft Edge, this extension in your browser will actually help you find the best deal, the coupon code for half price off. It'll give you everything that your heart desires. The problem is a lot of these extensions are actually hidden viruses and spyware, meaning that once you add this extension, which I would suggest you don't do, but once you add it, it will have access to pretty much everything on your computer. So if you have any kind of banking information saved in cookies, it will be able to copy that stuff off and send it to whatever headquarters it may be it in Chechnya or North Korea. So anything you add to your computer, make sure it comes from a reputable source. And if it's a standard pop-up from some website you go to on yahoo.com, under no circumstances should you add it. Go directly to that company name. If you're going to go to Lowe's, go to Lowe's.com and then see if there's an extension that comes with it. If not, do not click on random updates. Do not click on random pop-ups. Do not click on emails that say they come from Norton Antivirus. Your machine has gotten infected. Please download this latest virus update. 9.9 times out of 10, those are the actual spyware and phishing attacks that people are mostly fall victim to.
Wow. Well, thank you so much for sharing that, Giovanni. You know what's so scary about that? If you look at all the consumer reports, like I, watch the news, whether I'm looking at it live or looking at it on mobile app, all the traditional news sites, they are telling us to download those extensions. They're telling us the best ways to get the best deals would be to incorporate those extensions. And I was guilty of that myself. So, I mean, that's like crazy, when you think about it.
But people will sit there, put up a extension that says save 50% at Lowe's, but the underlying code is malicious, unless you go
Yeah.
directly to the Lowe's website. That is the top secret right there. If you get an email from Lowe's, make sure the spelling of the website is correct. You'll be surprised how
That's
many
right.
bad spellings they are. You get an email from Microsoft, and it's like, oh,
Right.
I thought it said Microsoft. It has the exact same formatting, the same
Yes.
coloring, the same scheme of the email as if you got it from Microsoft, but it is not. They're impersonating a major company and just getting you to click. There's a lot of
Right.
the wrong phrase is clickbait, because clickbait just
Yeah.
allows you to add for advertising, but this is just to get you to click on it. So the
Oh,
the
God.
the bad actors will know somebody's listening at the other end of this email.
Right. Absolutely. And even making sure it has the HTTPS. Also,
Yes.
that's something else. So talk a little bit about that too. Yeah.
Okay. Most sites that have any kind of e-commerce on it have to have a secure connection. What I could literally do, what a lot of bad actors are doing, are they will go to Bryant Park. Bryant Park has a free Wi-Fi service. Bryant Park, free Wi-Fi. Now, they can actually have a little hotspot that they'll say, Bryant Park 2, free Wi-Fi access, or 5G, whatever it is to get you to go to their hotspot on their phone. Connected to their laptop is a list of websites, right? I'm sorry,
Yeah.
not a list of websites, actual websites built into the laptop, which will emulate Chase. It will emulate Citibank. It would emulate
Yes.
Bank of America. So you'll sit there, punch in your ID and password. So what you think is an actual website, but all this guy is doing is collecting your ID and password into your bank account from a laptop
Yes.
sitting in a park.
Right. Which is it's so scary, but it happens, all the time. It happens all the time. At this time of year, it really, really is just like consistent. And I just wanted to share, you were the first people one of the first people that I reached out to when I myself, had uh, a situation with my bank account. It was hit actually for fraudulent withdrawals. It was on Friday, Black Friday. Our team was off on Friday, Black Friday, and my account was hacked. And 4 erroneous transactions were withdrawn over Thanksgiving weekend, large amounts from my checking account. And it was came through Zelle, but my Zelle account is inside of my Chase account. Chase can't even tell me how it happened. It took 2 to 3 weeks to get my money back, but it was a harrowing experience. You were the first person that I talked to about this, and we talked about some ways to safeguard. I think the scariest thing that I was told that I wasn't aware of was, you know, if you're using your account to pay bills, to pay your staff, to pay your team, you're using a checking account, just have a minimum amount of money in there, have most of your money in your savings account, because the savings account offer an extra layer of protection. This is not always general knowledge for those of us who are, entrepreneurs. We're business owners. We're just trying to run our businesses, and we don't always know this information firsthand, but that's what I was told. So can you speak about that a little bit, Giovanni? And you can even share some of the advice that you gave me. And have fraud alert and uh is it two-person authentication? What's it called, Gio?
Two factor
Two-factor
authentication.
authentication. So yeah, share a little bit about, your thoughts. Thank you.
Starting with a standard accounting issue, you have two checking accounts. One checking account where you pay your bills from, another checking account is where you make your deposits to. The checking account where you pay your
Mm.
bills, you normally have a good monthly accounting of where your money is going. So you put in a minimum amount of money in there so that whatever gets paid out, it's limited to whatever is there. We also have with Chase and with Citibank a charge alert. So if anything is charged more than $99, you'll get a text message. You're being charged
Right.
$99. Did you approve it? Some people can make
Hmm.
it $50. Some people say I don't spend less than 300 anywhere I go. So those are different things, but you have to contact your provider to see if they offer that. I know that those two banks do it. When it comes to
Yeah.
two-factor authentication, when you log into your email or log into any kind of your accounts, most of them offer two-factor authentication, including going into your Apple iCloud account. Literally, it will send a message to your a text message with a number. That number, you put it into the website that you are gone to, and it'll know that it's you, because only you should have access to your phone number. Now, that is not a catch-all, because if you use a Mac, all right, you can get your text messages on your Mac, you can get your text messages on your iPhone. But if somebody's in front of your Mac that you don't know and they access it, that's that loophole. If it's an authorized account, if you get any kind of authorization account on your phone, make sure to lock down whatever it is. Contact the company right away, say everything is unauthorized, lock it down, change the password immediately, and then go backtrack and do what's called a postmortem to see who attacked you, from where, and what you can do to not let that happen again.
Right.
As for yeah, that covers the banking, that covers the accounting, and that covers the two-factor authentication. If you're getting a
Yep.
text message at 2 o'clock in the morning that somebody's trying to access your email from Chechnya, it's a good
Yes.
idea. You should change your password. Do not
Right.
have the same password for everything. You must use something called a password manager. This way, it's
Yes.
not your dog's name. It's not just favorite sports teams. It's not your
Or
kids'
it's not
names. It has to be
password.
something. It's not
It's not
password.
password, right, Giovanni?
Capital P, yeah, and the A's and an ad symbol. No,
Right.
it's people just, they still do not understand. 1 in 4 people are being attacked with any kind of malicious emails or phishing or text messages or
Yes.
whatever it is. Just lately, I think it was 2 days ago, how scary AI has gotten that I got a call that I needed to donate to the patrolmen's some kind of police group, and it's
Mhm.
tax deductible. And when I said anything, there was always that pause. Back in the days, these automatic chat bots, as what we call them, would be able to, you could tell, it's like, can you hear me now? If you say yes, it goes through a pre-recorded system.
Right.
But this chat bot was like, if you can't do 50, let's just do 40. What's your credit card number? It was like, bro, I just told you I can't right now. Okay, if 40 is too much, let's do 30. And I'm like, and
Hmm.
the guy literally just went down, and I was like, I said stop, and
Right.
they still continued, and then I just immediately just hung up the phone. Whenever you get a call like that, you must, unless the FBI does not get a call from you, they're not going to realize that it happened. The more calls they get, the more complaints they get, the more they're
Hmm.
acting, open up an investigation and find out where these things are, whether they're in
Right.
India, in China,
Yeah. Where is it?
In Newark, it could,
Originally.
and because they're
Yeah.
chatbots, it could be on anybody's PC in a high, using some kind of gigabit lines, and just make phone calls all day long. And they change their phone numbers outgoing. That's one of the other issues that's going on there. But it's you're going to get approached, you're going to get attacked, they're going to try to grab you, your children,
Right.
or even worse, the elderly, because they just don't know.
Right. Yeah, that's the worst thing. I've been hearing about elderly people getting their accounts hacked. It's like heartbreaking because a lot of times they believe a lot of the scams. They click the links and everything. I've heard awful cases about elderly people withdrawing, being feeling threatened to withdraw money out of their account and sending it over to someone offshore. So, I always say that if you have an elderly family member, kind of be checking in with them to help them monitor, all of this. I heard a heartbreaking case about an elderly person that withdrew like $25,000, and it wasn't even a real, you know, it wasn't real. It was like a, set up line and everything. And I think they went into their branch in person. What I've heard from community banks, I've talked to a couple of bankers, Provident Bank, some of the smaller community banks, and they said that a lot of times when an elderly person comes in asking for, that amount of
Cash.
money, they're acting cash and they want it, you know, up front, and they never come in there asking for that kind of money, they should have been questioned. We know that it's their account, but it's just odd behavior for them. And sometimes community banks kind of look out for the people, especially um, their elderly customers. So, what would you even say about that, Giovanni? Because I know when my mom was still alive, I handled all of her banking for her, and whenever she would tell me about a scam, I was like, "Mom, that's not real." So, but what would you say about that too?
It comes down to having the alerts, and it
Mhm.
sounds wrong, but maybe you should have a two-person tier in order to withdraw money from an account.
Yeah,
So
correct.
if she doesn't want you to, if she wants to get money by herself, like, Mom, I have to be here. I have a couple hundred
Hmm.
dollars here in the corner table for emergencies. But if she has to
Hmm.
withdraw 25, even $1,000, it's like,
Right. You ever
I
have to
have to
get
be
you to
there
help out.
with her
Hmm.
in order to withdraw that. Um,
Right.
when it comes to one of my clients, his secretary's email account was hacked,
Mhm.
and
Yes.
no, I'm sorry, the attorney's email account was hacked. An email was
Hmm.
sent to his secretary that says, "Please transfer $1 million out to this account." And she called him, and he's like, "I don't know what you're talking about." So unless requests are made with a second check or even a third check, you know,
Hmm.
any requests over $500 will be followed up with a phone call from me, because I know
Right.
that's the way it has to be done. So having
Yeah.
two factor, two tier, a second
Yeah.
check, a second set of eyes, an alert
Hmm.
that says, "Hey, more than $100 was withdrawn from your account." It's always
Right.
good to have that kind of backup for yourself,
Absolutely.
for your parents, for your kids.
Yeah.
You
For
know,
your
and
kids. Yeah. Yeah.
I
Absolutely.
have a lot of clients where it is a little bit pricey to keep your computers up to date and checked on a weekly and daily basis, but the cost of it not being done can actually
Yes.
close your business. So you have to be
Yeah,
careful out there.
absolutely. I mean, that almost just happened to me. I mean, the price of getting hit with, that amount of money coming out of your account consistently, it taught us a lesson to be more careful. But the scary thing about that situation that I was just in with my business bank account was the fact that all of that, we have those layers on it. The two factor, we have that, we have getting the notifications, and all of that seemed to be turned off. And a friend of mine had mentioned to me, is there a way can it be reported to the police? But with cyber crime, where do you report it to? Where your local
You
police department, or how
you
does
call,
that
you
usually
call,
work?
you call 311. Every municipalities has their own rules, but normally you could actually go to the FBI.gov website and put in an incident there. So
Okay.
there's ways to report it to everybody. And when it comes to especially those phone calls, like, "Hey, can you donate here to the police? The
Yeah.
policeman's balls." They're like, No,
Hmm.
that just doesn't sound right.
Right.
And
Right.
they do it with
Mhm.
firemen, they do it with teachers, they do it with everybody. Or
Right.
another scary scenario: your son has been arrested. He needs to post bond. Please send $5,000 Western Union
Right. Yeah.
and
Yeah. It's
to
like it's endless. It's endless. I mean, I've heard so many of those, situations, and they just happen all the time, every day. Someone is getting scammed. But, all of this is so helpful, Giovanni, to look at ways of protecting, and even adding that additional layer that it has to come through a family member or another email, another number, is helpful as well. Because and definitely all the clickbait that we have going on, with adding these extensions, I'm going to go and take all of mine off that I was using for Cyber Monday and
that.
Black Friday, because that's what the advice was. It's like, you want to get the best deals, then you'll add this, you'll add that, but then you have yourself now be open to,
See,
you know
that
cyber
that
secure cyber issues.
that's the thing.
Yeah.
You can run as many virus scans and malware scans on your computer as possible, but once it is compromised, the
Hmm.
only best way to feel safe: make sure your data is copied off,
Yes.
wipe your machine clean, and run multiple scans on your data, and then copy the data back into your computer. That would be best.
Right.
Because once you're compromised, and you don't know if there's a little bit of code somewhere hidden somewhere deep inside some other program called, I don't know, Word.exe, and they'll
Right.
hide it there until time to run, and then when it runs, you'll wake up and
Yeah.
it's not a good day right before the holidays.
Right.
But there
Absolutely.
are ways. Just make sure to protect yourself. You protect yourself, we can come out of the holidays with good cheer and uh,
Yeah.
good vibes for 2023.
Absolutely. Yes. One last question, Giovanni. I want to
Sure.
ask, what do you think about those of us who operate our businesses and we have our content in the cloud and access to all these applications and everything? Is there anything additional that we can do to protect our company information?
Most of the cloud services are, I have the utmost faith in them. Between Azure and Dropbox and OneDrive. I mean, all these cloud services for data storage and streaming,
Would
they've
that include
been,
Google Drive too?
that will include Google Drive.
Okay.
Um, Remember that the weakest link is the security. If your password
Okay.
is password, or if your password is 15 characters, right? But it was compromised on another computer, those passwords are located in the dark web. So what you need to do is have a password manager that is also protected by a high security password with two-factor authentication. So when you go to a website, it goes into your password manager and it uses a 30 character complex number that would take hundreds of thousands of years to crack using the supercomputers that we
Right.
have now. So having
Mm.
a password manager will save you countless nights of sleep. You'll feel
Yeah.
so much better knowing that your computer, your spouse's computer, your kids' computers are locked. Just make sure you don't use passwords that are easily cracked. And if it has been cracked in the past, there's a good chance if you shop at Target, they have your
Mm-hmm.
Target password, which is the one you use for your Citibank, which is the one you
Yeah.
use for,
Yeah.
for your Hobby
Absolutely.
Lobby.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. Thank you so much, Giovanni. You're the best. If anybody wants to reach out to you, what's a good way to do that? If they
You
want
can
to
just
share.
send me an email to gtavares at proper systems with an s, propersystems.com.
.com.
We
Yes.
could we'll be able to go into my Facebook, into my Instagram later, but the best
Yeah.
way right now would be to contact me via an email.
Yeah, by email. We're Giovanni and I have been good friends for over 10 years. We've sent projects back and forth to each other. I highly recommend him. I'm so thankful for you being on the stream with us because this is valuable information. It's timely information. I know this is the second time we've done this. I'm going to have you back again because this is always great information. So thank you so much. And hopefully everybody has enjoyed this Marketing Monday, and I hope you've learned a lot. Great, great, great information. We're going to transform this, the live stream, into a blog post on our lightofgoldpr.com page. And so that way, anybody who wants to read it, you can see it there at lightofgoldpr.com. We have a blog area. So we'll put this video over there and we will put a transcribed version of this there as well. Thanks again, Gio, and happy holidays, everybody. This will probably be our last live stream for 2022, and then we'll be back in early January. So happy holidays, enjoy, and stay
Happy,
safe.
happy.
Yes.
All right.
Bye
Bye.
bye.